I was discovering all this new stuff, and I was discovering that I was looking in the wrong direction. And a long story short, my publisher at that time turned to me and he says, "You know what? If anybody is going to write about correcting all of this and bringing out the Greek tradition, that's going to be you."
You're watching the Spotlight Network, starring Hollywood's newsman, Logan Crawford.
They now believe a single member.
He works with TV and film legends. And now, Logan's shining the spotlight on the world's top emerging authors and creators.
International were abducted.
This is Spotlight with Logan Crawford, streaming on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire TV.
I'm Logan Crawford, and right now on the Spotlight Network, we're diving into the ancient world of mystery, ritual, and divine connection. The name of the book we're exploring is called Threskia, Ancient Greek Spirituality, Book 1, The Complete Rites and Rituals of the Hellenic Pagan Mystery Tradition. And we're talking to its terrific author. His name is Evan Rigakis. And in the book, he unveils sacred practices lost for centuries, drawing on decades of research, personal initiation, and ancestral calling. The author brings together the forgotten rites of ancient Greece into today's world for seekers, scholars, and spiritual explorers alike. We're delighted to have this very talented author join us here today on Spotlight. We thank the team at Prime 7 Media for helping us put him in the spotlight today. And we ask viewers like you to support authors like him by subscribing to our channel and by purchasing his amazing book. The links are below this interview. Evan, thank you so much for joining me here today.
Thank you for having me.
It's a true honor and a pleasure, sir. Tell us a little bit about the inspiration to write this book and share these ancient rites with the world.
Well, I was born in Canada to Greek parents. So I had a very, how can I say, a very Greek upbringing. And I was, be proud to be Greek and, Greece and this, that, and the other. So I got to be a real history buff. And I did study the classics, and I did 4 years of history, ancient Greek history at one point. And I got to tell you, at that time, I was very disappointed because I felt limited. And then I went to university, I went into different realms of religion and stuff like that. And this really comes out of a need for an alternative religion. And at around 1987, I moved to Greece. Mm-hmm. And I moved there thinking, oh, I know everything about Greek history and blah, 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 and let me at my Greeks, and I'm going to tell them about their history and everything like that. And once I got here, I got to tell you, Mr. Crawford, I had to learn everything from the beginning, because everything that I had learned blew up in my face. And so I started my research, and I was discovering so many things that it was just overwhelming, to tell you the truth. I started researching firsthand, going to ancient sites and taking part in digs and talking to archaeologists, because the mainstream academics were teaching me a whole different idea, and I was discovering all this new stuff, and I was discovering that I was looking in the wrong direction. And a long story short, my publisher at that time turned to me and he says, "You know what? If anybody is going to write about correcting all of this and bringing out the Greek tradition, that's going to be you." And somehow I took that as a mission, and here I am.
Wonderful, wonderful. You were initiated into the mysteries at age 13, is that correct?
Correct. Well, that's my way of saying how I felt a divine connection since I was very, very young, since I was like 7 or so. I can remember, but I wasn't getting, it wasn't matching with what I was being taught by the church. And though my parents, my mother is an atheist, she doesn't believe in any of it. And basically at that time, I wasn't really believing in the Orthodox Church. Well, I mean, uniform, tie, all that have you. But it was not connecting with me. So I started looking elsewhere. Spirituality, I was told, was the worship of God. Okay, and what else? I was looking spirit, looking just to bow down to, and they said, no, that's all you have to do. Just believe in God and worship God and all that. And that wasn't enough for me. So I went on a little extravagant search.
Yeah, absolutely. Talk to us a little bit about what the Hellenic Pagan Mystery Tradition is in modern terms.
I'm glad you asked me that, because most people believe that paganism is the study of the religion before Christian religion, and not just the study of it, but most people are trying to revive it, reconstruct it, stuff like that, and it's just not possible. We live in modern times, for God's sakes. We don't sacrifice goats on an altar anymore. That's so. What I'm trying to do is show the evolution of ancient, and basically I've given festivals, and I've given, like, this book alone, the whole series is actually very unique in the sense that you're going to be able to buy this first book, because it's a series of 3. But in the first book, with just this book, you'll be able to follow the pagan tradition by yourself, because I give them everything that they need to be able to follow it. And that alone makes it unique, because there's a lot of books written on ancient Greek religion, but none actually give you practices. They talk about the practices, but they don't give you the practices. I give you the practice step by step, very easy to understand. And I also explain, what the tradition is really all about. And the Greek tradition, unfortunately for many, because they come thinking that they're going to learn about how to properly worship the 12 gods of Olympus, and that's not the religion. That's the Roman interpretation of what religion is, but that's not what the Greeks did. And I say, remember Delphi, the Oracle of Delphi. In stone is written, know thyself. And that's the only command that the gods, if you want to call them that, the gods gave us a command to do, know thyself. So ancient Greek religion is not about believing in God or worshiping the gods or anything about the gods. It's actually discovering yourself. The ancient Greeks believed in education, the accumulation of knowledge. They were they were thinkers. They were critical thinkers. We have many examples where a priest would say, well, you have to confess your worst sins in order to pass this initiation. And the Greek would say, and who wants to know? And they said, the gods want to know. And the Greek's answer is, bring the god here and I'll answer him if he wants. He you understand? Like he didn't think that it was some super being or anything like that. It was more to that effect. And see, that's what people don't understand. And it's all about self-discovery and self-awakening and the expansion of consciousness. And that's modern terms.
Yeah.
You know, today we don't actually use, well, I tend to not use the word God or gods very much because I believe it's an outdated term. It gives me the idea of a cargo cult, you know, savages that see a flying disc or something like that, you know. And that's not what religion is. For me, religion right now is dead and buried in a Bronze Age grave, basically.
Yeah.
Because everything evolves. And that's the main focus of this whole work that I'm doing, is that we need to evolve our religious thought. We still believe in Bronze Age beliefs. I mean, we know now how to make fire. You know, it's we're in such a different era now, and that's what actually mixes people up, really.
Yeah.
And I'm just here to try and clarify as much as I can.
Yeah. Well, you've done a great job.
But like you said, you know, the ancient Greek history is so vast. I mean, I've contained it in 3 books, but I think there's going to be more because it just keeps on coming out. Stuff just keeps on being discovered.
Yeah, absolutely.
Can't keep up with it.
How did
I know
your
one
time?
thing for sure.
How did
I know our history books and yeah, sorry.
I was going to say, how did your time with organizations like the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn influence your work?
Much of what you your regular religion, in other words, there's the rite of marriage in there. You'll be able to get married in a Hellenic way. There's the funeral, you know, last rite. There is also the rite of worship, but really the rite of honoring the gods. And those are many rites. And then there is also a rite called the rite of symposio or symposium. And it was a practice that the mystics had after the mysteries. They would get together and they would have a you know, music and dance and you know, a nice dinner and everything like that. And they would all retire into this one room where they would be drinking their wine or having even drugs that I did discover at some point, opium, I think, and stuff like that. And they would have special guests that would come in and talk to them about a certain topic, and they would all, you know, share in their thoughts, and you know, coming to. It wasn't a debate; it was just a discussion, and the reason why they were drinking or smoking or whatever was basically because, and if they seen that you were getting too drunk, then you got kicked out. You know.
Yeah. Amazing.
Okay. So did you catch all that?
Yep, we did. Now, growing up in a Christian tradition like I did and you did, paganism is often dismissed as if they're only pagans and so forth. Talk to us about how your work addresses the misconceptions about ancient Greek paganism.
Is that somehow have taught the population that Greek Orthodox Christianity is the natural evolution of their ancient Greek religion, which is farther from the truth, sort of thing. But again, it's the church that did this. So now they're so you know, conditioned that they see that, and they're told that pagan and ancient Greek paganism even is satanic, and all those gods were fake gods, and anybody that goes with those gods are the Satan worshippers and stuff like that. And that got a lot of people riled up here in Greece, and they had open debates with the church on TV here because there's three things that you don't mess with Greeks. You don't talk about politics, you don't talk about religion, and you don't talk about patriotism. No, those are topics that you don't win.
Yeah.
Okay, so they really had it out. Now we have a nonprofit organization calling themselves Ethnic Greek Religion. I'm not exactly sure what that's all about, but they're into the preservation of the culture and basically the spiritual beliefs. Unfortunately, then I come along because I'm a little mischievous little one, and I say, you know, all of those festivals and practices that your Christian church is teaching you are taken from our pagan roots. Like I found so many pagan festivals that are happening that to this day, all they did was change the names to Jesus and Mary, and Christianized it. But so I said, what do you think? What are you thinking? Sort of thing. So that's basically how I try to wake them up from that little conditioning.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's very hard.
Give the folks at home an overview of the series, what they'll find in book 1, book 2, and book 3.
Okay. All three of them are actually unique in their own way. Book 1 is, like I said, the complete whole list of rites and rituals. But like I said, what makes it unique is that it's not just talking about the rites and rituals. They're actually giving you the practices, how to do them, and follow the tradition yourself if you want. Nobody's. But another thing that makes it unique is that I've included a whole chapter in how to pronounce Greek, so that when that was one of the main problems that I was having when I first came here, because I was pronouncing the names of the gods the way I was taught in school. So I was saying things like Hephaestus, and they were saying, who? Hephaestus. And I go, the guy that, with the steel and the hammer. Oh, you mean Hephaestus? And I said, what? So therefore, it's very important that you at least, if you're going to use these Greek gods, especially if you're going to be worshiping, which is not mandatory, by the way, but at least pronounce their names right. Because if somebody mispronounces your name, aren't you going to know it this way? Well, the same with them, so there's a whole chapter in there of how to pronounce Greek, and thinking of YouTube channel, and I'm gonna actually read the whole chapter so that you hear the pronunciation and be able to follow along more. But you're not gonna be able to learn casual Greek. No. Conversational Greek. No, we're just pronouncing words. Okay, so So book 2 is the revealing of the ancient Greek mysteries, which we know a lot about now that they didn't know back then. But what I discovered as well is a whole system of initiation for spiritual attainment embedded in all of these, Pythagoras, Orpheus, Homer, even. Socrates especially, and I just mixed them all together and came out with this whole system for, if you're really serious about your spirit and connecting with the divine, it's called spiritual attainment. It's, stuff like that. So that's the second book. The third book, it's entitled Untold Mythology. But really what I'm doing is talking about the new era and how we have a new era now. The Olympians don't rule. And we have a new pantheon that rules, and they're from Atlantis and blah, 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 blah. Mm-hmm. And so it's basically what I'm trying to do is pick up mythology from where the ancients left off and continue with it. Like, this is where it's going, and that's the third book, and that makes it unique as well.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Yeah.
Now you're planning on expanding the series, right? You're planning on perhaps even 4 books or more. Tell us where the expansion would go, where you see the series going.
I wouldn't doubt it. I already have 2 other books in the process, and maybe a 4th one here, but I don't know. I've got so much to write about.
Do you have help? Tell us a little bit about the research that you do. What's that like, your research process?
It's, for a history buff, it's pure heaven. I'm like you. I see that you're a man that seeks out knowledge, and you always are trying to expand your horizon. And when I'm able to actually go into the dig and take part in the studies and talk to the actual archaeologists, and they give me their insights. And Mr. Crawford, it's amazing. It's really amazing. So, and the thing is that we know so much now that we didn't know before. And I'm not even talking about long ago. Like the past 20 years, we've made leaps and bounds in what we know about Greek history. DNA has shown us that the Greek race goes as far back as 8,000 and maybe even more BC. So I'm living Greece, living in the Holy Lands, because I'm weird that way, I guess.
What's it like living in Greece? You grew up in Canada in a Western culture that was strong in Greek tradition because of your parents. Now you're actually in Greece. What's life like there for somebody who's from North America?
I lived here I came in 87 and I left in 2002. And I was still going through culture shock. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that, from personal hygiene to what you can find in the supermarkets to the way people think. I enjoy that it's very laid back. If you have to work to make a living, finding a job and everything like that, don't come to Greece. But if you are already financially stable and you have money coming anyways, like whatever, this is this is not at best from anywhere you are in Greece. The sea, it's just surrounded, and then you got mountains, and then they go, oh, where's Mount Olympus? And they always point to this one peak, and I go, no, over there. Mount Olympus is a mountain range. It's not like the movies. It's not one little mountain peak, it's actually 5 peaks in a row. Yeah. But things like it's beautiful. The cost of living. When I left Greece, I came to America, and I lived in Texas, Nevada, and Pennsylvania for about 20 years or so. And I've just recently come back to Greece 2 years ago. Still going through culture shock. I mean, people are the way, but I find that the cost of living, like, you can really live on far less than what you would need. They'll come up to, what the hell are you doing here in Greece? You came from America. Hey, we all want to go to America. No, you don't want to go to America.
Yeah.
Well, did you have a job? Yeah, I had a job. How much were you getting paid? About $3,500 a month. And they flip out because their minimum wage here is only 800 a month, right? So they hear 3,500, they go, holy moly, you know, that's a lot of money. I go, no, my dear, a 2-bedroom is going to cost you 1,800 of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and groceries now, groceries.
Yeah.
Oh, I've been, well, you know, I watch the YouTube and everything like that, and I see the prices going crazy, and people are, but yeah, I'm glad I'm away.
Well, you're in a beautiful spot.
And it's really laid back here.
Yeah, you're in a beautiful spot. It looks like paradise, that's for sure. I haven't visited Greece yet, but it's on the bucket list for sure. And you've done masterful work in this wonderful series, Evan. You have unveiled the sacred practices that have been lost for centuries. You draw upon decades of research, personal initiation, and ancestral calling, and you break down the forgotten rites of ancient Greece into today's world for seekers, scholars, and spiritual explorers alike. This series of books is highly recommended. 3 so far, more are coming. The links are below this interview. Evan, thank you so much for joining me here today.
Thank you so much for having me.
I appreciate your time, your insight, and your wisdom, and the wonderful work you've done on these books. To the folks at home, I'm Logan Crawford, thanking you for your time this time. Until next time on Spotlight.